Today is the day. It's Monday the 28th of April, 6:36, and I'm on the way to the office. We're starting our Week in the Life series. We're going to scale this startup recruitment agency from 0 in revenue right up to £10 million, and we're going to show you how we're going to do it. Let's get it. Dropped up nice and early this morning. I was hoping Kyle would be here so I can show you his reaction when I let him know that we're starting the vlogging journey, but I guess it's just me for now. I have to show you around the office. As you can see, 4-person office. We're a 2-man business. It's me and Kyle Roberts. We've got a new starter starting on June. He's going to be sitting right by here. We start the same every single week. We get the diary out, we write a diary, check the weekly schedule, look at the live jobs, and work out where our time needs to be spent this week. I'm really excited that we started the Week in the Life on a week like this. So I'll show you the calendar, and it's looking pretty stacked. So we got 3 hours of content today in our studio that we share in Newport. That's with me, Kyle, and new starter. We have a new podcast tomorrow with Julian. He's the founder of an EV company. Multiple interviews throughout the week. A lunch tomorrow with a advisor that I meet quarterly. Our new non-exec director is starting on Thursday. 2 meetings on Thursday. We've got a networking event Thursday evening that we sponsor. And on Friday, we've got the Bumbles of Honeywood, which is where I go into schools and teach kids, which are between the age of around 4 to 7, I believe. And we teach them enterprise skills, handshakes, eye contact, reading, writing. And this is just a wonderful experience. So yeah, I couldn't have picked a better week to start this. We're going to be as honest as possible, and we hope you enjoy watching. 7:52 now, and Kyle is normally here. I'm quite excited to get his reaction to the Week in the Life. I think he'll be quite excited and impressed. I 100% know it's going to be outside of his comfort zone, but that's where we grow, right? That's why we're doing these things. We only started the podcast back in January. Climbed to 700 subs. We've done 7 episodes, 9 people booked in for the next 8 weeks. So I'm hoping he'll share a positive reaction as well, but we're soon to find out. This bit of kit, mate. So we are starting a Week in the Life.
Yeah, class.
How was that with one of those bad boys?
Honest reaction, probably a little bit surprised.
Surprised? Why is that?
I feel like I'm on a Natural Geographic video.
Yeah, you are a dinosaur. Right, 15 minutes then. You ready? USP and product knowledge. We haven't done this one before. Product knowledge, that's from a selling point of view, because I heard you on a call last week. Some very good calls, by the way. Well done. When it came up to price, you weren't overly confident. What's the 3 services that we offer? The contingent, retained, and RAS. So my idea by creating these few things is when you're going in to sell, you've got 3 different models. You really cannot give a price unless you know what the hiring plans are. And USPs, I'm sure you've had this conversation. I've thought of 3, which I'm pretty happy with. I'd love to hear your opinion. What's 3 things that we care about more, starting from today? So deadlines, strict deadlines. And we know this is 3-day turnaround, this is a 5-day turnaround, yeah? Why would I pick you? What makes you different? I've had it before, sometimes I haven't had an answer, you know? So these are 3 things, and I know not many people would say these 3 things, unless they watch this video. And then they say these 3 things.
Just giving it away.
Yeah. Next one. This is the biggest one I want to focus on. Aftercare. You spoke to business owners who, when they work with agencies, the aftercare is non-existent. They forget about the person after placement, don't they? We can really, really ace that. It's huge. And the next thing is different services. So we've got the entrepreneurs in residence, or fractional NEDs, got the podcast, we've got keynote speaking opportunities and investment opportunities. So we don't just do recruitment. Like if you pitch to a client, you got them on a call 30 minutes, like, Carl, just tell me the price. Just tell me the price. Let's work through the discovery, right? How many hires? 3 different models. Oh, well, that sounds quite good, Carl. And here's the things that we do better than everyone else. Okay. Yeah, what makes us different? These 3 things. So get into the practice of doing these, yeah? Does that help?
Yeah.
Cool. Take a picture. Nice. We just touched down in Newport, one of my favourite places in South Wales. Me, Kyle, and Bailey, our new starter in June, have got some Talking Heads content where we're doing interviews for each of us, talking about who we are, what we do, and why we enjoy it. Nice, mate. So look at your drink. For you, someone's doing well. My guy. I think if anyone's a business owner watching this, especially in the service-based industry, you'll know how difficult it is to come off the tools and see it as valuable time. Like 3 hours going to a studio, recording some content, you can't really measure that in terms of success. Hard not to feel guilty of recruitment. If you end up doing anything that's just not deals, you often feel like you're being unproductive. It's a real big mindset shift to change the way you think and see this as an investment rather than waste of time or not productive at all. Just rocked up to the studio, Octopod, Newport. Let's get this content done.
My name's Kieran O'Connor.
And I live here in Cardiff. I'm originally from Essex though. I finished primary school in 2007 and then moved over here with my family. And I'm very happy to be living in Cardiff.
If you could give one bit of advice to someone starting their own business, what would it be?
Well, that's one of the reasons why we've started our Week in the Life YouTube series, actually. So I'm going to be sharing lots in that. I think the one bit of advice that I could give anyone, invest in people. Whether that's investors, whether that's potentially even friends, whether that's clients, invest in them with time, energy, and finances. So that could be a lunch. That could be a no agenda coffee, which we do. I think the more you invest in people without expecting too much in return, the results will speak for themselves.
I just couldn't find it.
What's going on, man?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Doing a YouTube series. You guys to be involved.
Place Talking Heads, scene 2, take 1.
Just finished 3 hours content in the studio. Newport is looking absolutely gorgeous. We've seen some footage there of Bailey. He hasn't even started with us yet, and fair play. He's been thrown into the deep end. Getting some Talking Heads content, some new pictures for LinkedIn. We'll have to come back and hold the fort. Also eating some lunch as well. Everyone's got this far in the video already. I think now might be a good time to ask what you guys want to see. Drop me a comment either on YouTube. My LinkedIn might be here if the video editor can put it there. We're quite busy in and out of the office all week, but if there's any specifics that people want to know, if you want to see some sales calls to see how we handle our prospecting and how we build a pipeline, if you want to see how we sit meetings, 2 meetings this week where I can talk you through our frameworks, how we set the meeting up, how we go into discovery mode, how we ask the right questions. I'm more than happy to start sharing all the high level stuff. But yeah, please let me know. Drop me some comments down below. I'll be making sure to do the content that you guys want to see. So we are approximately 7 minutes out from onboarding a new vacancy this afternoon. It's one of our existing clients that we've worked with from the very beginning. We're trusted to be their only recruitment supplier, which is great for us. We've helped them build out a software engineering team pretty much from scratch. So we've hired 3 software engineers into business, 2 mobile software engineers as well, coding in Flutter, and also recently a head of software engineering. We're going to be speaking to the CPO, the Chief Product Officer, who needs to hire her first product owner. I wanted to record some of this call for you to get some insights into how we would onboard a new vacancy. It might be a little bit different today because what we understand the process is we understand about the company background, so this is purely going to be from an individual hire perspective. Some of the things you're going to be looking at, the background of this person, what sort of industries have they worked in, what sort of skills are they going to be bringing. More importantly, which a lot of people miss, is who aren't we looking for? What isn't the background of this? You might only see a few clips of this, a few minutes, but hopefully on one of the quieter weeks, we can do a full in-depth onboarding call with a new client. We could talk you through the process from start to finish and how that might look.
Hello, how are you doing? Have I got myself on mute? Can you hear me? Hello? Is that working? Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Wow, what happened there? God. We've been doing the recruitment for the best part of a year now, mostly in engineering. I know there's been some changes recently. We're doing some more recruitment at the minute across engineering, but I hear there's some help needed in product as well. So how's this role come about? How are we here? Cool, all right. So tell me the ideal background of this person, particularly industries, level of experience maybe in terms of years, and then like team size. Pretty good at assessing if there's similarities, but I think the financially literate definitely helps. Yeah, that's going to be an assessing part. Okay, is there anyone who's like not going to be suited for this role? Personality set or a background which is just like we know that's not going to work. Yeah, confidently 30 APIs, communication skills, fast paced, and they have to be dealing with or have dealt with multiple projects. Those 4 things. We're not asking for much. No, we got it. What's the interview process? Because this is a new role, right? What have you got in mind? Sure thing. Yeah, it's going to take us a week to get moving. To get some results, on this one. We've got the salary. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, lovely. If that's everything then, I appreciate your time. Really do. And I'll speak to you late this week or certainly by Monday.
Today is Tuesday, 7:27. I've been working away for the past half hour, waiting for Carl to come in. I had a lot of leftover tasks from yesterday, so a bit of extra work yesterday and also this morning. So rather than show you the training every single day, I thought today I might show you how me and Kyle walk through a day plan. What sort of things we're measuring, what sort of KPIs that we've got in place. Anyone that hears the word KPIs, they might initially think that's a negative word, but we use that to really understand if we're measuring the right things that actually produce results. When Kyle comes in, we'll work through that day plan. Usually takes about 10-15 minutes. He'll talk me through what his expectations are for the day. And for anyone out there who's in a similar place, maybe even has some management responsibilities, or even is looking to incorporate their own day plan, I'm hoping that might help you. So let's see what he says. Right then, Kyle, 8:30 on the dot. What's the plan for today?
So we're currently working the BDM role. Quite a few candidates to catch up with this morning who've got the job description. They're currently in the process of reviewing that. So need to touch base with all of those, see what they think and find out if they want to move forward.
So 4 calls today, hopefully.
4 calls, hopefully, yeah.
Cool, what else?
I asked for a couple of meetings this morning. Get some meetings booked in for next week. Just no agendas, couple of coffees. We're looking a little bit dry for podcast interviews.
We're looking a bit dry?
Well, I'm looking a little bit dry.
Yes. So I know we spoke about this last week. How many people have you asked over the last 5 days, do you reckon?
One.
Is it any surprise that you haven't got any booked in coming up if we've only asked one person? Yeah. There's like 2-3 opportunities. I really need you to get 1 or 2 of those. It's a great opportunity for someone to come on and promote the business. It's publicity for them. It's a freebie as well. We're the ones invested into the studio. There's going to be people out there that want to come on and want to talk about themselves. So.
And then this afternoon is going to be heavily BD focused. Was out yesterday for 3 hours doing the pod. Yeah, need to ramp up on the connected sales calls. The daily target's usually at least 5 connected, so gotta get 10 in today just to be back on track for the week.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So what are the 3 measurables that we measure on a weekly basis?
Leads, meetings, connected sales calls.
Cool, so I think we're a little bit behind on all of those, mainly because we had 3 hours out of the office yesterday, yeah? How many leads do you want for today?
3.
3, yeah? We need to get you on that board for a podcast coming up pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great for you and great for them. How many people do you want to ask today?
I've got 3 down.
So send 3 messages or emails to people to ask on the podcast, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So to recap, it sounds like you need to close 1 or 2 out of the 4 for the sales role by tomorrow. You need to get a podcast. It'll be very good to get a podcast guest to come on. And then the sales calls.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alright, let's get it.
Here we are on the way to Newport for our first podcast of the week. We're meeting Julian Mensah, who is the CEO and co-founder of Voltric. They're an EV company here in South Wales that do some good things. With the 5-10 minutes I get driving over to Newport, I wanted to just share, some thoughts, some tips, maybe some stuff that's going on in our world, even some things that might be, out of mind, out of range for people to think about that we've been going through, and maybe that could help you along the way too. So I think it makes sense to start with a podcast. I'm sure we can all agree that the world didn't need another podcast. We started the podcast back in January. We started with some Q&A, so naturally we're walking into a week in the life now. For us, the reason for starting the podcast, from a service-based business perspective, anyone else is considering starting, lead generation and pipeline management is a great way to do it. Not everyone's going to say yes to meeting for coffee or meeting for lunch. I'm very fortunate. I've met quite a lot of people that have, and there will be people like that for you as well. But I think, that one-on-one time with someone where you can sit down, ask them questions about their business, the wins, the losses, things about mindset, you wouldn't get that open and raw, honest conversation, if you were meeting them for coffee or meeting them for a public lunch. So, the ability to learn and just be guided from people who are definitely going to be more experienced for you, or at least on a different journey, is second to none. One of the reasons I think that a lot of people don't start a podcast is they're worried Are people going to watch it? Am I going to be judged? Is anyone going to be interested in this topic? Those are all external factors which are arguably out of our control. So we flipped it and we looked at stuff that is going to benefit us. The communication skills, the lead generation, the meeting people, the learning from people. Ultimately, if we're there to serve us as curious people who want to do well, naturally that's going to come across in the show, or at least we hope so. Now, for anyone looking to start a podcast, if you're in the business space, you might think it's too late. You might think there's no need, everyone's doing it. Sure, that's what I thought for 2 years. I could be 2 years in, 50 to 100 episodes deep by now, but I'm not, because I had those thoughts of there's no need. I think if you could put aside those feelings and think about the benefits to you and your business, even just you personally, I think it's a no-brainer. I really, really do. Yeah, something else that I forgot to mention today, we have picked up our first sponsor. It's Repower Daily Electrolytes. So they're the electrolyte brands who have, I would say that, right? The cleanest electrolytes on the market with 0 calories, 0 sugar, and I believe less than 5 ingredients. So we're very fortunate to be sponsored by them. All of our guests will get a branded shaker, a taster pack of electrolytes as well. And we're going to be giving them out on each episode. I think that's just a testament to hard work over 3 months to pick up a sponsor so early on. That just makes us feel good, and that the work that we're doing is valued. So you'll likely see that episode up in the next couple of weeks. This episode will be up next week, and we hope you can continue on the journey with us. So now might be a good time to say like, comment, and subscribe. The subscribe button will be here, I hope. My LinkedIn profile might be here. And if you want to come join us on this journey, please do so.
Should I do that? Use our code PLACE10 to get 10% off. Oh shit, I did. To get 10% off.
I don't know about that.
No? No, I don't think so either. And now a message from our sponsor, Repower Daily Electrolytes. Level up your energy, sharpen your mind, and feel alive again. Hydrate smarter with Repower Daily Electrolytes. And you can use our code PLACE10 to get 10% off your first order.
Perfect.
Bosh.
I don't know why I feel like I need to do something.
No, take a seat. We'll get some pictures now. There's a couple of gifts as well. We've got a sponsorship recently. So these are Repower. These are daily electrolytes. They're sort of vitamin and minerals to keep people healthy. Well, they're going to help.
Thank you.
There's a bottle for you as well.
So
That's a good leader.
I try. Hold on.
I'm so aware of the green and the EV schemes and stuff, especially as a business owner now.
Exactly. Yeah.
How to
Yeah.
implement it and why it's
No.
needed.
And it's Wednesday already, 7:23, and I'm in the office getting ready for my 8 o'clock meeting with Adrian Coles. Adrian's the business growth advisor that I brought on board this month. And why I've done that is to get a different perspective and some support to help me work on the business rather than in the business. We've also got Mark Hindmarsh starting tomorrow as a non-exec director. The roles are a little bit different, and I'll happily explain some more in probably a separate video altogether. But for a two-man business to start building out a board and some advisors, it's very ambitious, but it feels like the right thing to do. And you can see the things that we talk about, how we measure goals and what we're looking to get out of the conversation. Aside from that, we have 4 interviews going on today. So I'd love to video a candidate preparation call. It could be beneficial for anyone watching who's in recruitment and wants to see how we handle that sort of stuff. Finally, we have BD call coaching at 4 p.m. for an hour. So me and Kyle hold each other accountable for call coaching. We're measuring things like tonality, objection handling, openers, mirroring and pacing, that sort of stuff. It'd be good for you to see how we do that. Yesterday with Julian, the content you would have seen, he onboarded our first sponsor. 4 or 5 ingredients, 0 calories, 0 artificial colorings. It's a real proud moment for us, only 3 months in to get our first sponsor. If we can onboard 1 or 2 of these, which we actually align with and we actually use ourselves. If anyone wants to buy any, PLACE10, discount code for 10% off. Lemon and lime is the best. So let's get it. Let's see how the conversation goes with Adrian. Turns out this one was online with Adrian. I thought it was in person, but I'm sure you can still get the vibe of what we're going for. what we talk about. Hello, good morning. So we've reached out to two companies that we're working with, and I said, look, we want to come down, film a bit of a day on site and do like an in-person video testimonial. Video content is very, very popular, and the podcast is going so well. Like we're nearly at 700 subs now in 3 months. We're starting some more content with the stuff we got here, and then I've got loads of ideas, So we've got 9 guests. We're fully booked till July. Yeah, we've got some real great people coming on as well. Yeah, like we're building connections, we're getting in front of the right people. So in the next couple of weeks, we are in a good place with like potential revenue. Mark's joining tomorrow. Bailey's coming, which I'm going to be doing some more systems and processes for. So I think just to be on your radar is those introductions that you mentioned to help us with like pipeline and certainly just new connections and more relationships. Tuesday's cool. I have a podcast, a very exciting podcast, 12:30 till 1:30. So I'll be back from 2:30, 3 o'clock. Is that any good to you? But yeah, so far, first month's good. I appreciate the introductions, some different perspective. You've pushed me on the video testimonials, and I've spent a fair bit on some kit. And we're playing the long game here, right? We're here for the years, not the months. Sounds good, Aid. I appreciate your time and all the insights this morning. You've got the one date for next month, and then we'll sort out the next day after that. Thanks, man. Well, that was really good. Us planning ahead for the month, reviewing last month, team performance, how to increase deal size, and any introductions that Adrian's going to help us with. So I hope you enjoyed that.
Hello, it's Kieran. So yeah, the way you said it as you're a person who does take action is good. But I think the main thing he's looking for there is you're someone who follows through on what they say they're going to do. Yeah, no, you've done really well there. It sounds like you're well prepared. So you're in at 2 o'clock. I'm going to wish you the best of luck. It's going to be an hour. Am I right to give you a call maybe 4 o'clock so we can share some feedback? I wish you the best of luck and I'll speak to you later today.
Right, okay.
Thanks, man.
And
see ya.
in terms of
It's Kieran O'Connor. Yeah, very good today. And you? How are you feeling for today's interview? In terms of the email that I sent you, I know you had a read through it. How are you feeling about what was mentioned? Yeah, and how are you feeling about the tech stack? With the front-end development experience you've got. I wish you the best of luck and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks, bye.
Show us your new shoes then. Look at those. My guy. You enjoying the week in the live content so far? You haven't been involved that much, have you?
No, I haven't. It depends what the end result is.
Absolutely, man.
Perfect. Well, Daniel, I'll send you a follow-up email by the end of the day. Brilliant. I really appreciate your time. You take care and have a good day.
Is that a hat trick of good calls, mate? The only thing?
What?
You speak so loud. Have you noticed? I wonder how it sounds. I'm going to listen to those calls back later.
If I talk quietly,
Yeah.
I get told my tonality's off.
No. There's a difference between talking loudly and then being skilled with your tonality. It's not a bad thing. The energy's great today, but it's so loud. That's 3 good calls. I think today's the day. The tonality was good there and the mirroring. And 3 out of 3. I think today's the day for meetings, isn't it? So what most recruiters would do is be quite disappointed that when someone's not recruiting,
Yeah.
When you recap it. So I'm actually quite pleased that you're not recruiting. And I would probably say something like my biggest success stories and the products that I've delivered have come from meeting people and companies when they're not hiring. I say I'm happy to spare 30 minutes if you've got some time. I'd love to learn about the business. But I think that's going to give you an increase because how many of these out of the calls that you've had in the last week, let's say 50 I think now, if you had to say a number, what would you say I've said we're not recruiting right now? 45 out of 50, yeah? If you can now get a different closer to actually say, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We want that.
Yeah.
My best success stories have come from me.
So reaffirms as well, like I'm not here for a quick win.
It's so good. I reckon, honestly, if you try that out of 10 times, 2 people would say yes. Just 20% of people would say yes. And then the other word I might try and drop in there is invest. So I'm happy to invest 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you can make some time. How are you looking next week? I'm going for the hard close on this. How are you looking next week? I think that's a killer close. And you can say that in 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually really pleased, how I am right now. Most of my best success stories have come from meeting people and companies when they're not recruiting. I'd be happy to invest 30 minutes next week. If nothing comes of it, I'm fine with that. Would you make some time? When you ever got to say would or could?
Mm-hmm.
Could is like, could you do it? And would is, will you do it? If someone said, yes, I would do it, I'll do it. If someone says, yes, I could do it, that's still not a full commitment. So that one letter change in could and would makes a big difference. So if someone says, yeah, I would do that, okay, let's do it. Or if someone says, yeah, I could do that, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really excited to see if that works.
because then every pitch is going to. Paul, I know this call's out of the blue. Most of my best success stories have come from meeting people when they're not actually recruiting at that given time. I'd be happy to invest maybe 30 minutes next week if you wanted to meet for a coffee in Bristol somewhere, just to learn about you guys as a business and maybe how we might be able to help you in the future. Do you have access to your calendar right now? Yes, Mark, I'll send you an email. I'll put the subject as rubber ducks, so it's an easy reference. I really appreciate your time. You enjoy your conference, and hopefully we'll be able to get that coffee booked in.
Sounds like another good call, mate. Do you know what? I'm so proud and so disappointed at the same time. Because he started.
I know,
he's going to do this. Most of my best success stories come from companies that aren't recruiting. I'd be willing to invest 30 minutes next week. And then you've missed him, but you said, you want to get a coffee? I'm only based in Cardiff. You're a new put. We can get together. I can learn about the business. No. Brevity. It was so good. I actually thought you were going to close that first time. Opening was great. Why'd you deviate? Doesn't go anywhere, sorry. I'm fine with that. Would you make some time? I reckon that little change, you probably would. Yeah, I would actually.
Yeah.
It sounded good though. It sounded professional when you said that.
Would you be open to making some time? It can be face to face, or we can set something up on Google. Just for us to learn about you as a business and how we might be able to support you in the future. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Has that thing that I suggested to do changed a lot? I think the first couple of times, right? But is it helping?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know why he didn't follow through then? You're lacking that killer instinct. You know, when you said that was really good. And then he said yes.
Yeah, he said, what, in person?
Yeah, and then you said...
Yeah.
It can be personal or online, but whatever's up to you. No. Do you know what I mean? If he says it in person, yeah, let's do person. You free on Tuesday? Hello, it's Kieran, you okay? Thanks for going down to the interview today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Give me an idea of how it went. Okay, cool. All right, let's start from the beginning then. So, how long were you in there for? Okay, that's a good time. What did you think of the person you met? And what did you talk about for the 15 minutes? So did you talk much tech? And maybe it was a little bit of nerves, do you think? That's all right. So specifically then, you said he's happy for you to go through to the next stage, is he? That's good news. And then just to check on the stack, you know, have you 24 hours to think about it in terms of the stack and it being mostly front end. You're happy on that basis? All right, well, I really appreciate your time today, and let's speak tomorrow afternoon, yeah, once you've had a think on it. Always happy to help. Yeah, I'll give you a shout tomorrow.
Thursday, 7:08, and I'm in the office getting ready for another busy day. This week has absolutely flew by. Yeah, today's looking stacked, so just to talk you through it, I probably can't video all of today. We've got Mark Hindmarsh, our new non-exec director, starting today. I'm really excited about that. He's an entrepreneur, has been for 15, 20 years, and he's going to be getting hands-on with us trying to grow, strategically grow this business. So we've got a meeting at 10 a.m. with a potential new executive coach, a meeting at 11 a.m. with a new client. That might be good to show you. Then out for lunch with Gareth. That would be a really interesting one. We still got £27,000 outstanding this week, which we want to close by tomorrow. Obviously, today is the first of the month, so it's a brand new month. It'd be great to close something today. And this evening, our Product Tank Cardiff event, we are the proud sponsors of a networking event here in South Wales. We get to support the community. We get to be at the event. We get to do a small talk for a few minutes. You know, our money contributes to speakers and food. More importantly, it's great for us, exposure and brand as well. So if anyone wants to know bits of information on that, like how to approach that, how the sponsorship works, how much it costs, you know, I'm going to be as open as possible. So, you know, let me know in the comments if you want something answered, and I'll happily do it. But today's looking stacked, so let's get it. So I'm downstairs in the Maltons in less than 1 minute. I'm going to be in a potential executive coach for me, Dan Stanley. Some of you may be aware of him. Obviously appointed 2 new non-exec directors recently who are helping with business growth and trajectory, but this is a personal appointment, you know, to help with accountability, mindset, direction, and all around personal growth. So Dan come referred by a friend, and this is our introductory call, 30 minutes. I'm happy to share what we speak about, as long as it's not confidential, to see if it might help anyone out there as well. And yeah, hopefully it goes well. Hello, Dan. How are you? Good morning to you. You all right? All the things you said there were very accurate, actually. Yeah. I appreciate you noticing that. I think you are right in probably ride the wave. I'm in a good place, and it's taken me a long time to get here. if that changes in the future, I think then there's 100% opportunity for us to work together. But I think you're right. I think you are right. Appreciate your time, Dan. Good man. Thank you very much. Bye. I don't need a coach. We'll probably go into more detail about that in a walk over to pasture shortly after this. But what a great guy. What an absolute great guy. 10 to 12 and we're off to pasture. You would have just seen my video with Dan Stanley, the high performance coach that I was looking to bring on board from a personal level. Ultimately, I'm not in a position for a coach. I've done a lot of work on myself over the last few years, and I've built some infrastructure, as you would call it, mental disciplines, frameworks, which have really supported me get to where I am. And with the new professional appointments on the board and the growth advisory, he doesn't think it's right, and I respect him for that decision. I really, really do. So this meeting now that we've got is with Gareth Roberts. So I've met Gareth 3 times. He's a non-exec director himself. He has actually taken a company public over in Singapore and now does various net appointments here local to South Wales. But he's a very successful man who has a lot of time for people as well. It's really important for anyone who's a business owner or early stage at least to get out and meet people. There's lots of people out there who've been there and have had various levels of success and happy to help other people. If you're happy to take them for a coffee, perhaps even some food, doesn't have to be pasture every time. You can learn a lot. So, this is the 3rd time meeting Gareth, and I don't think it'll be the last. I honestly can't put into words how beneficial those conversations are. Getting out of the office as regularly as possible, full stop, but meeting people like Gareth, of his experience and what he's achieved and been through, and going for lunch, going for coffee, and not actually thinking about the day-to-day running of the operations, and talking to someone who's been there and done it, and going for that bird's eye view perspective on how are we approaching things and what different avenues can we introduce. Full transparency, the bill was £70. And a man of his experience, if he was to charge by the day rate is going to be like £500, £600, and I got 2 hours worth of value, and I got to eat and sit there in a one-to-one capacity for less than £70. If you don't realise that there's people out there that are willing to do this, and you don't have to invite them as a non-exec director. Arguably we have with some people because there's a value add there. Ask to meet people, ask to meet them for coffee, ask to meet them for lunch, and there's people out there that will do that. Obviously I couldn't really record in pasture because I'm not that guy, and I don't think I'll ever will be that guy. But we spoke about loads of different things which might have included different ways to reward employees, equity and option schemes, something that I'm looking at for the near future. Personal investments, how Gareth makes and maintains his wealth, and what can I do as well. So, performance review, me personally, and the business, just so beneficial to get out and do that. Me and Gareth do it once a quarter, but I try and do it at least once a month, hence why bringing the non-execs and the business growth advisors on has been so beneficial. And then we've got Product Tank, so I'm definitely going to get some footage of Product Tank, the food, the people, some familiar faces, hopefully me speaking as well. And if anyone's interested in the sponsorship package, how that looks and what the return on investment is, let me know, and I'm happy to share that. I guess we'll see you at Product Tank.
Kieran O'Connor, founder and managing director of the place. I work with Kyle at the back. Just setting some content tonight. First things first, I want to say thanks to Product Tank again for allowing us to be here, being a sponsor for this calendar year. So thank you very much. So a short sweep for us. The only thing I would like to mention is we will be recording tonight on a new device. We plan to get some content for us personally and the Product Tank guys and girls to share on socials and promote the community and try and increase football here as well. So thanks again for having us here.
That was Product Tank Cardiff, the networking event that we sponsor. Number 48, the big 50 coming soon. We're going to be doing something quite big for that. Kyle, how was your event?
Yeah, very good. It was very interesting. Very good keynote speaker talking about large language models.
Did you choose to wear a grey top like me? Right, tell me your one biggest thing you learned from that event.
Text Kieran the night before to find out what he's wearing.
Nice. That was a really enjoyable event with Product Tank. That's our first event that we've sponsored as a business.
We sponsored it for the calendar year, and we're so proud to be able to support the South Wales tech community. People look after each other here, and it means a lot to us to be able to, you know, support others and bring people together to like discuss opinions and different perspectives in tech. So Friday tomorrow, big day. We got to run. Still trying to close some of these deals. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be an exciting one.
Friday, bit of a change of plan. This morning was meant to be enterprising, where we go to the primary schools to help teach kids enterprise skills. Wonderful morning out, but this week's been too busy. Today is also too busy. The new non-exec director Mark has put 1.5 hours in the calendar to go over some strategy, direction and planning. Kyle was actually here before me in the car park this morning, so we'll see him on the way in. So yeah, I was hoping to get some footage of 2B. I'm sure the video editor will put a clip here of what they do, and if anyone wants to support in the South Wales area, please do. Out of breath here, walking upstairs. Yeah, let's get it this morning. Good morning, my man.
What's going on, lad?
Nice and early.
I know.
Happening? Legs up on the desk, there's all sorts, man. Comfy. Someone's doing well this month. 7:32. Both hit gym this morning already. And 5k now, yeah? Quick prep check. Super Blast 2s. Come on, boy, look at them bad boys. And we're gonna get, how far, Carl?
5k this morning.
5k PB?
Potentially, yeah.
5k. Right, see you in half hour. 8:03, just got back. Carl, what time do we get?
23:13.
23:30, your third fastest 5k.
Yeah.
Obviously. 3 rounds as well. Electrolytes. Feeling good? How are you? Yeah, good man. Sweating more than I thought.
Yeah, literally, it's hot out there.
Roasting. Ready for the day? Oh, we might have underestimated the heat. Oh, we're both sweating. Feels good though. Ready for the day. We are expecting to close 2 deals today, which would be about 15 grand's worth of business, which we're so hopeful for. Kyle's got a big day of business development, sales calls mostly. What do you call it? The objection handler that I showed earlier in the video that I passed over to Kyle. Typically, I was at the office yesterday and he closed 2 meetings from using that technique of saying, I'm glad that you're not recruiting. I wish I recorded it, but I didn't. But yeah, just goes to show it works. Yeah, hopefully you can see some footage of us closing some deals today. I'll get some footage of me speaking to Mark, I'm non-exec director. And then of course, an end of week recap on performance and business performance. So let's see what we do. Mark Einmarsh, good morning. Good morning. I'm very good today, and you? Yeah. So there's no one with a technology focus who's going to be able to identify, is this person as good as they say they are? Thank you. January, so what's that, 15 months? Close, yeah. So we trade under Place Consulting, not Place Recruitment, so we're different. That's why we've abbreviated to Place. Our website, having a complete revamp, we've got the YouTube connected, we've got the new CRM connected to get jobs on there, but that should be up this weekend. And the podcast's really taken off now, Mark. We're fully booked to July. We've actually got our first sponsor on board as well. When I say proper, it's good for me. Is it good for bringing in aboard and more people? No, it would get better. That's where I could help some of us, yeah. I know, that's why I love it, because I'm so ingrained in it, and I've been in this world for some time now. But some people aren't aware of how beneficial this is to an organisation, especially from a recruitment perspective. It's Friday afternoon, out to get some Nando's, and I thought we'd record me and Kyle and do an end of week review a couple of hours earlier and talk about some of the wins and losses. And who better to start with than Kyle? How's your week been, man?
It's been pretty good. We closed the deal Monday. Well, it's first thing Monday, weren't it?
You closed the deal?
Yeah, I closed the deal. Contract deal, which was a 14-day turnaround, so that was a very quick win. So take that. Then the week progressed. What else have we done? It's been heavily focused on the BD. Less connected sales calls, more meetings booked, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. And then quite a few rubber duck follow-ups.
You know, anyone watching this, they're not going to have a clue what rubber duck emails is.
Well, the rubber duck is a way to stand out to prospects which you've spoken to on a cold call. As you can imagine, prospects get lots of emails, so if you let them know that you're going to send an email with the subject as rubber duck, it just stands out and hopefully your email won't get avoided.
It's a good idea, to be honest with you. I like that.
Problem prospecting.
Sounds good. How many meetings have you got this week?
I have booked 2 with 1 in the process and 1 got declined.
And
Unfortunate.
go on, tell everyone that technique you used. Not looking for any credit, more just I can't believe it. I can't believe it worked. So you tried it 4 times.
4 times, and
How many good responses did you get?
well, I'd say
4?
2 confirmed, and then the other 2 were like
Still good responses. though, right?
50% nearly there. It's
Yeah.
just the delivery on it wasn't great.
But it's mad how one shift and like 2 sentences. Like
Yeah.
a shift in mindset, 2 sentences can change. You asked 4 times and you got 2 meetings, 50% success rate. All right, what about business talk then? So how are you? Well, Adrian Cole started last month, Growth Advisor, and we are also building out a board of directors. Mark started yesterday. How are you feeling about a board of directors as a 2-man company?
I've only learned what board of directors are actually used for about 2 weeks ago. So met both Adrian and Mark, both seem like really cool guys. Looking forward to working with them and seeing how it pans out over the next coming months. Both of them have some great experience, a lot of skin in the game, as they say. So I'm sure that they can add a lot of value to place, and it's a very exciting time.
What about the new starter coming up? How are you feeling about Bailey?
Bailey.
Bailey boy.
He's a good lad, very good lad, very switched on, especially for his age, I must say.
So I think that extra injection of energy would be good. I'm expecting 1 deal, maybe 2 if I'm lucky, so we can hopefully show me closing a deal. 12:56, just had Nando's. Kyle's in a good mood. We'll try and close one of the deals that we spoke about earlier in the week. We're going to do it in live time. Wish me luck. Yeah, very good, thanks. And you? Yeah, I thought there was loads of value added, particularly with what you've been doing and what you can bring, particularly from a senior level. As we hoped and as we expected, they want to make you an offer, which is really good news. Matt, what's your gut feeling?
Gut feeling is a yes, to be honest.
Sounds like you're happy for me to go back and verbally accept.
Yes, I think so.
Sounds good. I appreciate the honesty and I appreciate all the communication, throughout the process. It's been quite a smooth one and pretty quick. So well done. Are you going to celebrate in any way this evening or over the weekend?
I might go for a few drinks with some friends, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. It's well deserved.
Lovely stuff, thank you so much.
No worries. Have a great weekend.
Labash.
Nice. That's one of the deals. I forecasted 3 deals this week. Here's a second person.
Hello?
Hello, sorry, I was...
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
The list you sent me was really helpful, actually.
I thought I'd struggle to find anyone who was more of a match in terms of location, skill set, and management experience. Yeah. So I still stand by that, and they do move quite quickly. So I'm hoping we'll have an answer today. What I'll do now is I'll send an email across, let them know your feedback, your level of interest, and that usually speeds up the process. So appreciate everything so far, and speak to you soon.
Yeah, catch you soon. Cheers, Kieran.
That is 1 deal done and dusted, and that was the interview feedback call for the second one. And I hope I can close that today as well. That'll be 2 deals and a Nando's. Good day.
Would be a very good day.
And the feedback from the 2 candidates has genuinely been very, very good. Onboarding period was one of the best he's had. So shows how high the standards must be, I think. But it's been great from both of them, and the feedback's been really strong. So when the head of QA is speaking to you about his performance, assuming technically on paper he was a match, but what's he doing that isn't right? What do I need to avoid for trying to find this person? Is it communication, attention to detail? I can assess in my interviewing questions, specifically around that, because the last thing I want to do is find someone technically able on paper. First interview goes well with me, send them across, but they've got a track record of not communicating well or being a team player. So maybe that conversation might be helpful to go into a bit more detail. I can get enough information here to make a start. Has he worked remotely before? Was that assessed? I'm always curious. I always like to go a bit deeper, but we don't need an answer on that right now. We've got the budget. You're going to send me the spec. What's the duration in an ideal world? How much guaranteed work is there? And is there possible of extensions? And then maybe that more in-depth call would help, because I say it all the time, finding the technical skills is the easy part. You can do that in half a day. The extra time is finding the soft skills, that's what you want to call them, the initiative, the communication. Yeah, enjoy paddle, don't drink too many beers. So yeah.
What goals are you going for this month, mate?
to read and finish deconstructing discovery.
You know what? I'm going to join you on that as well.
Yeah?
I'm gonna finish that this month.
You probably finish it before me.
I probably will, but it's only because I don't do anything else apart from read. You're gonna put a running goal on there? That'd be a good one. So far, I've got run 100 kilometers because I've got 2 ultras next month,
Oh yeah.
and I do 5k a week at the minute.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ambitious on the business.
2 hours later.
Oh, Jesus, you've already written them all out.
What was I saying? This stuff's so hard, isn't it? Right, it's Friday afternoon. Time is 4:40 on the dot. Most people finish early on a Friday, but me and the big man still here setting some goals, which is our favourite thing to do actually. End of the month, beginning of the month. We probably set more goals for any single month than a lot of people set for a quarter or a year. I'm going to go through my goals. Carl's probably going to share a few of his. So I'm going to say them into the camera so you guys can hold me accountable over this month. Personally, going to run 100k, got 2 ultras coming up next month, and I'm running about 5k a week at the minute. It's pretty low. We both want to finish the same book, a sales related book. I want to finish a second book, and I'm going to book a holiday for Q3 because I'm working very hard at the minute. So is Kyle, got a new starter. Also building out the board, and yeah, I need to make sure that I'm taking some downtime. The business goals, which is where it gets a bit more exciting. I personally want to bill £40,000 in revenue this month. We want to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, so if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please do. Bring on a new client, book 10 meetings, get 4 reviews. We want to upload 3 of these videos, so that by the time you're watching this will be number 1. We also want to get a second sponsor for the podcast, so if anyone has a service or a product and wants to sponsor a new but up-and-coming podcast, what should they do, Kyle?
Yeah, email Kyle, please.
Email my manager, email the gaffer please, and he will sort out any sponsorship deals. Kyle, share your goals.
With Kieran, I've got finish deconstructing discovery. Run 10k a week. It can be split into 5ks, but want to keep up with the running. Sub 22 minutes for a 5k.
Forgot to mention, I'm going for sub 19 as well, so expect some times.
Learn how to make sourdough bread because I like cooking and the bread in Tesco's is terrible.
You like cooking and you're a single man.
Business is to bring on a new client, which will be my first. Been challenging on that front this year so far. Bill 15,000, book 2 people for the pod, 10 free networking events, and meet 5 people for coffee.
Recap of the week, 2 deals this week, coming in at around 9,000 in revenue. We're expecting a lot more, but we're going to be as transparent as possible on what we've got in pipeline at the beginning of the week and what we close. Kyle booked how many meetings?
2 meetings.
2 meetings, I booked 2 meetings as well. We've got 2 deals next week in the pipeline. All in all, a good week. Any final comments for the first weekly vlog going up? Nothing from Kyle. See you next week. That was our end of week review, mixed in with our end of month review. Me and Kyle spent some time reviewing last month's performance, both professionally and personally. We plan ahead and hold each other accountable, again, both personally and professionally. So we set lots of ambitious goals, social, wealth, health, and business, and we strive to hit those every single month. Do we hit them every single month? No, but we make sure that we push the limits in different areas. And that brings us to the end of our first week in the life. Can't believe it's been a week. Quick recap, 2 deals this week, 1 from me, 1 from Kyle. 4 meetings booked, 2 deals in the pipeline next week. Had a pasture, had a Nando's, on board a new non-exec director, and things are going in the right direction. Looking forward to getting after it next week.